Here's another little book I love. I love this craft paper cover again. And what was cool about this is the pages were this thick cardboard. It came like that, so there aren't that many pages in it. And this is really more for me of a visual journal, but that's all I know how to work. I don't know how to keep a sketchbook anymore. But I do have some sketches in there. This bottom part I did in Mexico. My sister and I were at the beach, and later I added some collage and some painting, and then I drew this figure over it and had her standing on the beach. And this is pornographic, but this I did a sketch of my sister at the beach, and then later added, painted the sky and did my writing and added this little nasty collage thing. I think that's the only thing I have in there in terms of sketches. This is another little book. This was a gardening journal that I had, and it has this nice tie here so you can tie it up. The paper is relatively thin, but it's brown, and that's a nice color to have for quick sketches, because you've got a black marker, maybe a black pen, you add a little white pencil, and you've already got 3 colors now in different tones: highlights, medium, dark. So that's real easy and quick to have a different color paper. That's nice. And so this is from my garden, and I would just work on it and take notes out there and glue in things and plans for gardens and what we did out there. So that was like purposeful, I guess. I mean, it had a job, it had a task, and it was a fun little book. So put that there. This one I was altering, and it was a book that had various collected quotes in it, uplifting quotes, and it was called The Essence of Wisdom, Words from the Masters to Illuminate the Spiritual Path. And I've showed this book before, but what made me crazy about it was, and it's hard for you to tell, I'll do a close-up on this, it would have like a quote, and this quote is only here, and the rest of the page would be blank. I suppose that might be relaxing for some, but for me, it was very stressful and wasteful. I couldn't stand the waste of the paper, and I thought I would feel better if I used this book as a visual journal, and then I could save the quotes that I like and work over the rest of the pages. So this book I had with me in Ecuador. So some of it's just writing. I used it as notes. And let me see if I can find some of my stuff from, I had a recipe that I collected in here. So here were some of the recipes, and I put a transparency over it just to make it more interesting. Another recipe, I glued stuff on. Let's see. I guess I had this in Greece as well. There's some Greece notes in here. So the field notes, a postcard from someone. The field notes journal is whatever you want it to be. Part sketchbook, part journal, scrapbook, photo album, collage, painting, visual journal, art journal. It's gonna be everything. So don't worry about, oh, it's only this or it's only gonna be that. It's gonna be everything, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So enjoy choosing your book. This is the wisdom book with the quote on the page. Here's the quote, and the rest of it is, space for me to do my writing. That's Petey. Here's another craft journal. I don't know where I got this, but I really like it. And I decided, okay, I'm going to start doing some sketches. So I took it with me to the zoo, and I loved it. And I loved the size, but it was still a little big. It was still a little hard, you know, and it's really fast. You know, animals are not staying still that long. So these are not that good. My giraffe, I think, not that good. But trying quickly to do that. Elephants. Do you see the elephants? No, but that's okay. So we're just getting some background here. I could have come back and painted in here. I could have added collage. I could have done all kinds of cool things with it. I'm not sure. Oh, camel. Yes, that's a camel. More camel. Not very good. And then I took this sketchbook with me to my mom's passage. And I did sketches of her while she lay in her bed dying. And people were very upset. They didn't like me doing that. They thought, she was very pretty. Why are you making her look like that? Well, I think these are pretty. Well, maybe not that one. And it was a very good experience for me to do. And I would say typically when I'm working in a sketchbook, you know, you work one side of the page. In our workshop, we're really going to be doing a 2-page spread. And then just some notes here. More pictures of Mom. I haven't gotten very far in this book. This is probably, like a lot of you guys, you probably have a lot of journals that you started with great intentions and wonderful ideas. And then you get bored, or, you know, life distracts us. So you can choose one of them to start again. If you need to, you can, you know, take out some of the private images, or, you know, take things out and frame them, or put them in an envelope. Do something special with them. This is a great book. This is really too big for our purposes, but I just like to show it since we're sort of talking about blank books here today, or sketchbooks. This book is very expensive, Italian, really amazing, beautiful paper. It's got texture to it. I've been afraid to work in it because it's so nice, but it's got a little bookmark. You could make one for yourself. And if you've had a book like this that's a little smaller, that might be really nice. I have my sketchbook that I'm using now from Rag & Bone Bindery. They make beautiful, beautiful sketchbooks. Or journals, whatever you want to call them. They're very expensive, but they're worth it. The quality is incredible. Look at this beautiful red fabric cover. I love red. And I have a smaller journal that they made as well. This is kind of a nice size, kind of a medium size. Maybe it's a little thick, but I take this with me when I go out to dinner by myself, or coffee or lunch or something. And I usually leave my first 2 pages blank for notes, you know, people's phone numbers, etc. Oh, and I started this book with some ideas that it was going to be an idea book for my business, and that seemed a waste for me because the paper is so great. It's so high quality, you know, kind of almost like a cardstock. And so this particular 2-page spread, I had a workshop here at my Enchanted studio here in Albuquerque, and they were working and there wasn't room for me. And I thought, what am I doing sitting around? I'm an artist. Act like one. So this is them working. You can't tell. That's not the point of a sketch. The point of the sketch is practice. To get your hand to the page. To warm up. To move around. Loosen up. Okay? And I have a little box. A little pink box. I'll show you in the Journal Mobile Unit video about that little pink box and what I've got in it. This was another one from that workshop. I just was drawing them, and the lines from my drawing looked like a ship. And ships, boats, water, those pirate stuff, they're really great metaphors for me. And so I did my workshop in Key West, and my mom was there. And so that all of that's really important to me. And so I made this ship. It looked like it was sailing there in the distance, like this was the art table. And so this is actually kind of my mom, you know, like she sails with me, you know, but I miss her. I really do. And this one, I guess I was at a restaurant, and so sometimes I'll copy down words from songs, and I always date it, and make sure that I date it, including the year. And so what I've been doing in this particular book is, you know, having a sketch, coloring it in, but also having some words. And I want to remind you guys, too, that practice. That's what this sketchbook journal is for. Practice. Not to be good, not to be great, but just to get yourself working. We need to be working. And so this one, I don't know why, but I did the words this way. And I created a little border for them. And I like drawing a marker. I can blend things, bleed things. I'm not so attached. Like pencil seems to take a lot longer to draw with for some reason. Like marker, especially brush markers, is really fast. And then I can come in here like in 2 seconds with some color. Boom, 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 boom. Done. And here's another one. And here's where I was sitting at some Starbucks here outside, and I thought, well, this is a horrible view. I have to draw that? And I kept looking around. There wasn't anything good. And I realized, you know, it's really not about the view. And it's not about drawing something interesting or exciting or great. It's about the practice. It's about doing it. It's about showing up to the page and presenting yourself and being available and just doing it. So I was trying to work a little bit on perspective. That's always hard. So I was trying to, you know, practice my lines like that. And here's another one where in the background it looked like there was a battleship sailing in the distance. I wrote like some battleship in the distance. And so there are different things that can happen in your piece that can inspire some text. Quick sketch here. Was out with some friends. So I did, well, at first I had to do my friend Anne, but she's so pretty, and so I wrote Monkey Anne. That's not Anne. And then here's Anne, a little bit better. Still doesn't look like her. And this was a quick sketch, and I think it was near coming to Valentine's Day and sort of thinking about my heart and relationships. And so I created this, you know, sort of heartfelt background. There were, you know, people seemed to be talking to each other. And then I just left this white. I like that. And then colored everything in with marker. Here's another restaurant marker. More people. Terrible. It's terrible. More people. Some old guy. He was really hard to draw. But you know, you just do it. You just whip it out. Eventually, you'll get better, or you won't. But it won't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's just about doing it and exploring and having fun. This was more of a close-up. A still life maybe of cup and salt and knife. And this one makes me crazy. The color is, that yellow is so gross and ugly. But this started out as a close-up. I was just drawing what was on top of my table, and I didn't finish it, and I get disturbed by wasted space. I always have. I gotta fill it. So then I did another sketch around it. I can always change that color. You know, another close-up. Somebody trying to draw somebody, very good. Little note.